candles, and I've been sitting here at the altar. I don't usually film them during the day because you can't really see the rays with the light coming in the house or the sun coming in. But it's been raining all day, and I happened to turn the camera on to take some pictures of it. I couldn't believe what I saw, how big and long and beautiful these beams are. I wanted to film them and I wanted to see if you could see them. So I can have them for you to go back and look at. I'm trying to move it so you can see how big and long they are at different angles. Aren't they pretty? The blue candle is Chris print up candle. The red candle, hey, big old wizard, Michelle, is Nipsey's. Let me see, go this way. Let's see if you can see. Can you all see what I'm seeing? From the side, go up, turn. Can you see these? Stand back. Can you see these beams at the altar, the Sunday altar? Sunday ancestor altar. Isn't that gorgeous? They're so pretty. I wish I knew how they do it. I'm going to have to ask somebody that understands this to explain it to me. This has only been happening since Nipsey's been in my house in 2019 up until now. That's when he started tricking my candles out and the light started making geometric prisms and beams and orbs. Thank you, Tanisha. Michelle, yep. And Kaya, is it Kia? Kaya, forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Abina, big old wizard. Wow. You know, I've had this black lacquer entertainment unit since my son was a baby. I should have probably thrown it away a long time ago, but I kind of like to keep things for keepsakes in case he wanted them when he got older. And my grandmother would always do that, keep and try to preserve furniture and things. I didn't know I was going to get rid of it a couple of years ago. And then when Nipsey came, I was like, you know what? I had been so sick the past few years. I really didn't walk around my house or do anything in here. The spirits came in here and started speaking to me. And he wanted an altar. This was the first place I did it because this was the first place I would do my readings here, sitting at the dining room table. And he just kind of took it over. As well as the other room, I have a big altar for him. Okay, you can see it really, really good. It's a little dim today because it's been raining in Georgia a lot this week. So I can see the beams better because it's cloudy outside. I guess that's it. And the sun's not shining through the blinds. So while they were doing it, I wanted to share it with you because I usually don't do this so early. And you see how long they go up there. That's amazing. They look like you can just grab them. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay long. I just wanted to show you this while I could because I couldn't believe it. And their food is still looking pretty. I don't know. I might have to dump the food because I see the shrimp and sausages have dried up on the collard. The bread, they got some fried chicken. I guess that means they like the food. They got some blueberry cobbler. Oh wow, you see those? That's Nipsey's. And the blue is Chris print up. They just doing their little thing, ain't they? That's they started doing it more once I put their food up here a couple of nights ago after I did the chicken. Thank you, Brandy. I'm still exhausted. I really didn't sleep much. I got to spend the next couple of days because I got to do some more cooking. And I want to be my best. My body's just exhausted. Oh, I just heard. Y'all heard that pop back there? Okay. Yeah, that's one of my mason jars. Don't know what it's. Just expect anything in my house, okay? And you heard it, big old wizard. Aren't they so pretty? They're like the sun. The rays look just like the sun. They're so pretty. I hope they come through. I hate when I do this and I go back and then it's all pixelated. I can't see it. Anyway, I want to share it with you. Yeah, you saw in Alaska today how Nipsey and his grandmother and I, who I was telling you about Alaska. There's like one of the suicide, what's it called? Suicide gaps or suicide breaks or something in there. It's a basin where a big glacier in Australia has melted down and kind of ruptured. It's been knocking houses down just like dominoes today, just wiping them out, like right on the edge of a river. And I told y'all that I kept saying he was talking about Alaska, and his grandmother, Grandma Hustle, was talking about Alaska and the climate change and the storms up there and about the fish up there in the private labs and near Antarctica. And a big storm is going on right now in Alaska. So that's another confirmation. What else? Is so much happening. There's a lady that lives overseas sent me confirmation. I think it was on Al Jazeera as a big train derailed over there. A lot of people were hurt. She said, I just want to let you know your prophecies are not just happening in the United States. They are happening overseas, and I want to keep you up with it and send this to you. And my mouth dropped. I got it this morning. She had it for me. I said, whoa. I've been looking for stuff about Imani Robertson, but I guess they're not going to say much over the weekend. I wonder, have they concluded the autopsy? Are they going to tell us what happened this week? I'm really excited to know about that. You see it, Karen? Thank you. I'm glad you're seeing what I'm seeing. So pretty. Yeah, some things they've been coming down so quick, so much going on. You see that serial killer killed women like 20 years ago. Now it's coming up and they find these bodies, these heads are coming up, skeletons. When I told y'all they were having people trapped in these walls in the attic and buried around where they live at, and having people in the house in cages, and black men in cages torturing them, and children in cages eating feces and urine. You see that's not coming out, right? They got a couple in, I think he might have been a rapper or something, had 2 children with his girlfriend in the house in a cage, nasty with weights on them. They arrested them. You see this stuff I said? It's all that Nipsey told me. He went and seen it. You see, it's all this stuff is coming out. And these dead bodies coming up in the ground. We're in water world. Water world. A lot of these things around water in the body, water in the ocean, climate changing. Fishes is speaking up. Fishes getting up out the ground. Some of them got 4 legs on them walking because they are part of the reptile species, and men were able to do this at one point. The fish are evolving back to it, getting up out of the ocean because of what Nipsey told me they're doing with the water. And it's a machine at a big planetarium. I don't know if he said this is in California or this is Vegas in the United States and in Rome. They shoot these beams out and they connect the ones that are being shot out in NASA, and also down underground and in the water where they're deliberately polluting and poisoning it to kill a certain amount of fish and a certain amount of humans. When I told you these waterborne diseases with diarrhea, vomiting and shitting at the same time, this just happened to some athletes swimming or competing in some ocean water. I have to look back. I got I saw it today. All running off and vomiting. These viruses, people are getting no cure. These mosquitoes are shooting people up. When they bite them to get blood, they're infecting them with other diseases. Like I told you, some of these bacterial infections and fungal infections, there is no cure. They are resistant to known antibiotics at this time. I told you months ago. I've been saying it for the past few years since Nipsey's been telling me to warn you, and these STDs are super strains. Anyway, I'm so woe out from Imani Roberson, but you know what? That's one of the best goddammit souls that I have fucked with, other than Nipsey and Chris Printup, because she was so clear with me. She was so detailed. Now, her rolling around in my ass like that for the goddamn weekend, now, that was a little rough on me, damn Imani, goddamn it. Because she took over my whole body, but I could see and understand better. But it's really tiring for you all that don't know to have a physically dead person. It's so heavy and it's so hard what they have to go through. And then to bring it on your body, and it's like a dump truck. I've been hit with one, or hit with a car. So they're so heavy like that. And then she laid there in the bed in me. She clearly liked me because we merged so good. And then I go to sleep, me and her be hanging together. We be talking and laughing like we know each other. She's such a sweet baby. I wish I knew someone in our family knew her mother to pass her messages, but I'm not going to worry about it because it was such a pleasure to spend time with her daughter. And I don't know, I got a little attached to her right now, so I'm going to keep up with what's going on with her and what day they're going to have a funeral, because she's concerned about her outfit, her dress. I know I see some white and light color, but I wonder what they're going to put on her, because I know she was picking what she liked, colors she liked. And I was right there with her. I said, how the fuck do I get in this shit? Y'all remember a long time ago, some of y'all weren't alive yet. Might have been in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a show called, I think, Medium. Was white lady with blonde hair, Patricia Arquette, or she might have been Patricia Arquette's sister, one of the Arquettes. She was married and had children, and her husband understood. And she would see these glimpses, and she secretly worked with the police to find the murderers of the people. They would come to her, and it would wear her body out. And I used to look at that, and I used to want to be that. I didn't know I was that. Because my mother would always abuse me and suppress my gift. And I know my half sister had the same ability. My son has the same ability. He tried to run from it. And I said, I hope before I leave here that you will embrace it. Because if you don't, I'm going to come back and haunt you, because you need to hear me. And he was like, no, Mama, I think I might be ready. And I'll tell him about some cases I'm working on. He said, I told him about Imani. And first thing he said, Mom, like, was it 2 million? I said, yeah, I think it was. And he said, a jealous woman? I said, yeah. I'll tell him stuff, and he'll just say, wait a minute, hold on. And I said, there you go. You're embracing it. Finally, you're not running. So if you're like that and your children are like that, I would say embrace it, but if you work a 9 to 5 and you got some kids and you got a nigga to satisfy, you got to decide how far you're going to go with that, or put boundaries up, or what days you're going to do it, and get a spiritual man that understands. Because you don't want to be planning to get up to work and one of them come and lays in you all night long. You're not going to, I could barely walk. Not going to be able to have a good day at work, or you just work for yourself, or have a boss that understands, hey, I talked to the dead, and yeah, that doesn't usually go over too well. That's what, they don't want you there. As you say, yeah, but I would never tell anybody not to embrace it. I say you help me embrace my gift. Oh, good, Angela. Yeah, it can be really scary and very heartbreaking, and it could really wear your body out. I see now, when I looked at people that do readings and do root work, and a lot of them look real fat and old as they get older, I see why. Because they eat up. They're like sin eaters. They take on everybody's problems, and everybody's pulling at them all the time, and they don't have time for themselves, because everybody always, that's one thing. If you're a reader, you're a seer, you do spiritual work, one thing I promise you, once people know who you are and they're drawn to you, you will never run out of business. Because people always have their problems. You just have to get rid of the parasites who want you to do something for nothing, who come to you, didn't plan, didn't say their money, knowing they sell. If you sell drugs and you sell pussy in an area where it's not legal, you need to keep you a legal fund, because one day your ass gonna get locked up and you might not bond out real easily, and you might have to go in front of a judge and get an attorney. A lot of people that do stuff like that because they make the money fast, they spend the money fast, and then the first thing they want to think about, which a lot of you all don't know, even these celebrities, when they're in court, they got a root worker somewhere here that you don't know about and that you don't see. And usually they know what time it is, so they got their slush fund. Many of these people on a low level, hustling, blowing their money, partying, things gonna last forever. When something happened to them, they want to come to you and tell you about it, and then want to tell you they ain't got it, or want to nickel and dime you, want great things to happen, and charges drop. And I just don't deal with that anymore, because they'll work you and have you up all day and all night and call you all day from jail. Because some of them collect calls I don't take. Where? I'm like, you wasn't calling me before you got locked up, nigga. Now, why the fuck you want my attention now? Why you want to give me your attention? You know that you were supposed to have your money saved up. So now you want to come over here and wear me out and come out, I got a few dollars here and a few dollars. I don't want to hear that shit. If you know that you want to get in this and embrace it, you got to decide how far you want to go and with your specialty. It's going to be, because they will wear your motherfucking ass out if you don't set boundaries for them. And some people I have to learn how to say no to, or look, I'm not going to do this much, and then I'm going to let you go because you want something for nothing and I ain't the one. I'm already tired. People try to play on your sympathy, but don't prepare for things that they do and the consequences behind it. But they'll keep you busy, though. You just have to decide what your gift is, what your talent is. Thank you, Patricia. I loved her. And I fell in love with that. And you see, they never let her rest. They come in at any time. But that doesn't have to happen to you. You can tell them don't do it, or you can push them away. She's the character at a big heart like I do. So if I like the person, and they come in, who's the most stubborn? Nipsey and Chris Printup. Because Nipsey wouldn't go away. And I tried to push him away. He actually told me when he came here the first time, he wanted one reading the day he was shot. He said, I want you to pass a message to someone. He want to talk to his brother. And he said, and after that, I'm not going to come back and bother you no more. I said, what you bothering me? All these young pretty girls are looking for you all around the world. Your name is buzzing on everybody's satellite and everybody's TV station. And you come all the way from LA to ATL, not knowing he loved ATL and he lived here. I said, you want to talk to me? He said, yes, I want you. I said, okay. He said, good morning, Alexis. I said, you know my name? I said, I know you too. I wasn't going to tell him, I knew he was. I had a secret crush on him. But, I told him. And he got to talking. He said, I want to come back. And I said, that's fine. It's okay. You don't want to come back. What you want me to tell? I said, who is it? Who's it? And I started calling out the names of the angels. He said, Samaya. I said, y'all know who that? They said, that's Black Sam. That's his brother. I said, oh my God, the man really is here. I wrote I wrote it out and I said it. And then it kept coming back. I said, I thought you said one time, one more time. There was always one more time, one more time. And then I said, we're in 2023. And that's with Chris. I didn't know who he was. He scared me. He looked like a vampire. He said, a vampire don't help me. I said, no. And he followed me back to the house. I said, let me, please, at least just let me get in my body. I'm out here in the balance. You're on the other side out of your body. I still got one over there in the bed. Please, I'll die. If I don't get back to the body, I got to get out of the balance. He said, okay. Literally, he walked me home with his hand around my shoulder. He's like, I'm not going to let you go because only you can help. I said, no, that's not true. Whoever you are, it's not true. It's plenty of psychics. He said, no, you. He let me get in my bed. He literally followed me because he knew I was going to run. And I didn't know who that was. Scared the shit out of me. With them black eyes like that. I said, oh, my God, I got to get away from this, whatever this is. And he watched me get in bed and stood in here and would not leave. And now I'm glad he did it because I see he's a really good man and a nice man. And LA and it's not going to be the same without Nipsey and Chris Printup. they're still grieving both of them and love both of them because of the change, the grassroots change they brought. Really real men, good people, solid men about family and community. And those are the ones they like to take. So when I saw that, and the next day, Kim G showed me Chris print up and showed me his mama, his dad, and I said, oh, and showed me the picture with him and Nipsey. I said, okay, there's nothing else to discuss. He's there with Nipsey. Nipsey trusted him, and he made clothes for Nipsey. I said, there's nothing else to discuss. What do you want? What can I do? How can I serve you? I'm not going to put you out. And there are people like that. And then Imani's ass. She just said, fuck it. I want you to know and tell my mama and where I'm at and what happened to me. So I'm just going to get in your body and take it over. So you will see what I see, know what I know, hear what I hear, feel what I feel. I'm going to tell you where I'm at, because I knew she was over there by that nigga house on Metropolitan Apartment, Cityscape, or whatever that is, City Town. I know the nigga had a nearby there. Sitting there. Do you see that? Kilta sitting in that house with that baby, knowing she's close to him. Want to keep her close. People are like that. They'll kill your body so nobody else will have you and you won't go nowhere, and keep you or your things. He got some of her things off her body and shit like a souvenir. He ain't worried about you going nowhere. He ain't worried about you fucking nobody. You won't be with nobody else, bitch. Even if I go to jail, you're going to always be mine. And the last memories, the last experience you have, it's going to be with me. I'm going to keep you close by because I don't want them to pick the body up. I don't want to bury the body. I want to savor this little bit of time. I know they probably going to catch my ass. So I want to spend this time. You see, in a way it is. If he could have had it in the house, which he would have had a body. Some people do that. They'll keep certain people whole body, freeze it, because it means something to them. They can't let it go. You know what? This is making my stomach hurt. I'm sick on my stomach. This is how this nigga feel. And the woman that wanted her dead feel. So she just went straight FUD, goddammit. Dived in me, laid in me all night long. Child, I prayed and I prayed, I cried and I cried all night long till I found the Lord, honey. That's where that little girl did me. You see, she ain't that big, but she's strong. I said, God damn it, girl. You done sat here and possessed me. I feel like I'm on dope. I cannot move. She says, how I feel. You done fucked my head up. I can't get up. And she's, passed out. I passed out. And I'm still feeling it, because those people, when their body die, it's like a sack of bricks. It's a bag of cement. That's how heavy your flesh gets heavier. Nothing in it to hold it up no more. No spirit and soul to hold it up. And I feel every ounce of it till it weighed down I'm laying there with no cover on me, no bricks, no ropes or nothing. I had nothing holding me down, but yet I felt held down and my body couldn't move, and I couldn't even, my hand was so weak, I couldn't even grab my cell phone and lift it up. All I remember is when I tried to lift it up to turn it on to do a live, my wrist bent over, my hand released, phone fell out, and I passed the fuck out. The fuck. I don't know when I woke up. I said, what the fuck? It's like somebody drugged me. She said, that's me. That's me. I said, I tried to avoid that happening to me for a long time, because of this and the way it does my body. And I see now why a lot of psychic mediums, root workers, they either die early or they retire and they have a lot of health problems, and they be fat and out of weight and they look like shit. I see why, because they're drained all the time, because somebody in the body or outside the body is always begging for something and always pulling on them to do something that they cannot do. I wasn't taught to appreciate it. We weren't taught to appreciate them and look down on them and say they were the devil. I appreciate them because we've always had them in our communities, in our Native American communities, our Latino communities, our African communities in Africa and over here. And we need to learn to respect them, what they call the two heads or the seers, the root workers, because those are the ones that walk in the balance and speak to the real ancestors, not no preacher, unless the preacher is naturally gifted. And if they are, they're not going to teach you about these things. They're going to bind you because they're under the Masonic oath, under the lodge, and they have to take your money. They took an oath to keep you blind. But then they teach you to disrespect people like me, so you'll never open your eyes, and you will die believing you're going to see a white Jesus with long hair and damn, I ain't mean to say prison, but it is a prison. You going in heaven and walk on the streets of gold. That bullshit. That bullshit. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later on.